Cholo Cholo.
All right, we're doing another one, folks. We're doing another thought rant. Might as well be productive. So this is thought rants, and the reason I do thought rants, folks, is that I like being in front of the camera. I like doing videos and stuff, so I've always liked that, and it gives me an intellectual project challenge to, learn a skill set of video work. And then also I watch a lot of YouTube because I like to hear what people think. What are their thoughts, on things. Because sometimes it's just better than reading the textbook, to be honest with you. I mean, you could read books and stuff like that, but sometimes when you just talk to people, you can get a lot of value out of that video real quick. You know what I mean? In a way that you may not absorb it in the book. But I'm not saying that don't read books. You should read to succeed, cholos. Definitely read to succeed. Okay, so this is a thought rant. I'm just gonna talk about where we're at in the world right now with this coronavirus thing. It's almost the end of September right now. And where do we go from here? People need them stimulus checks. Presidential elections coming, and I've watched a lot of entrepreneurial stuff before, and I've considered myself an entrepreneurial person. And there's some people that say, like, politics doesn't really affect us. Either way, you gotta make that money and figure it out. And there's truth to that. But then coronavirus happened, and then that changed my mind completely. So, I would consider myself, political, even though the last two presidential elections I didn't vote, because I wasn't sure about Trump. I didn't know if he was Illuminati or not. I didn't know. And then Barack Obama, I voted for him the first time, and then it turns out he was a fucking traitor. With the Obamacare, like Trump said, it was a disaster. And then he talked to people, he's like, well, I had health care. Yeah, because they raised the fucking premiums on people who were already affording it. So it just took from one group of people and gave it to another, and it just created a lot of problems. But anyways, what am I saying is that, another thing about Obama is, like, he said he's gonna get us out of the Middle East, and we just increased our military presence there and created more wars and shit. Anyways, that pissed me off. Anyways, and another thing, just real quick, because I'm thought ranting, was that you remember when he got elected and he got the Nobel Peace Prize, like, real quick? I'm like, damn, Cholo didn't even pass the probation period, and he's already getting a raise. Meanwhile, Trump has, like, near at the end of his 4 years doing peace deals in the Middle East, like real peace deals, and then he gets nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, which is ironic. I'm like, this Cholo got a free, got the promotion real quick, and you could tell Trump earned his. I don't know if they're gonna give it to him or not, but so is Trump Illuminati or not? At this point, I don't think he is Illuminati. If he is Illuminati, then, man, they really played us like a fiddle. But if he's not Illuminati and he's really fighting the Illuminati, then we gotta support him, because the Illuminati have been fucking our lives up for a long ass time, since they put Jesus on the cross. Whether he existed or not, I don't fucking know, but they've been satanic, banksters, fraudsters for a long time. And we're still here. They're still here. The swamp is still here, folks. So we gotta drain that swamp, because the politics, especially with coronavirus, has made me think that politics really affects us, completely affects us, directly affects us. For example, I I wasn't making more than $20 an hour, even though I have a fucking master's degree in music composition, which doesn't help anything. I was thinking about being a film composer, and that didn't work out. It was making money in music is tricky. Once you figure it out, I'm sure that it's good. But anyways, whatever. That's not the point. My point is that. So then, I studied the web coding. I went to the coding school. I was trying to get the code money. I moved to LA, and I finally did get a little job here. Then there was the Malibu fires, and then I was working a temp, and I got another job selling socks, e-store. It was an e-store, and I was doing their WordPress site, and then I eventually got into what's the other one? I forgot the other company that does. I've been ear injury for a while, folks, so I've been out of the game. I don't know, it's this other company that does internet web stores. I forgot the name. It's not, anyways, it's not important. But I got laid off because of the coronavirus. The mayor or the governor of California, I don't know who, but they said basically, if you're a non-essential business, shut that shit down. That's what he said. So that was like literally a 2-year journey, 2.5 year journey down the drain for me, because it took me about a year or two to just be at that point, and I still wasn't making more than $20 an hour. And I did a lot of job interviews and stuff like that, but I just honestly, it was like at that point it's just like it's very difficult to be a web developer, because it's a hard, there's a lot of stuff out there, and all the jobs want you to have like 10 years of experience and know what you're doing and stuff, and they don't want to train you. And then to save money, they'll hire like some web developers overseas. So it's like, man, they're shipping our jobs off overseas for web development too. God damn. So I'm like, man, fuck this shit. Then I was unemployed, get my $600 extra. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till my ear heals and I'll figure it out. My ear's still healing, so it's getting there. It's like 95% maybe, but it's still a little sore, and the nerves are coming back. Anyways, what's my point? My point is that politics directly affects our lives, because at one snap of the finger, everything can change. One snap of the finger, the stock market crashes. One snap of the finger, nobody has any money to pay the rent. Just like that, real quick. So, and it's because of a government ordinance. And you can say, well, COVID virus was, no time in American history that I can think of, they shut everything down because of a virus. And it's so crazy because, the mask, and I'm not the only one saying this, but the mask thing was total idiocy. The mask thing, because if you don't know this, now here's your chance to know it, is that they don't work. They're meant for doctors when they do surgeries. They don't spit on you and contaminate your cut or whatever. But for a virus, when have you ever seen a fucking bio, like in the movie E.T., like, you think they're gonna come to an alien and shit with a bunch of crazy viruses with a fucking mask? No, they were all suited up. Biohazard suits. That's a mask for a virus, not this shit. That doesn't work. That was just a way to put the dog collar on us, really. And then what are you gonna do? They got I remember when I first experienced that, I was trying to wash my clothes, and the guy came out of the laundromat. He was like, "Nah, cholo, like no mask, no service." And I didn't want to argue with him. I'm like, I just want to wash my clothes. I got pissed off. I snapped at him, but I came back with a mask. I was like, all right, fuck it. Just follow these stupid rules until we don't have to anymore. And that's how it was. And so thought rant is that the point of this video, I'm not really sure, I'm kind of ranting on this, but I'm getting some feelings off my chest and some thoughts off my chest. What is gonna happen after this? Well, nobody knows for sure, right? Because we're going through it. But we have to get rid of the fucking banks, man. The Federal Reserve, all those central banks. We got to get on a gold standard, just for economic sake. And that might be a digital currency, gold-backed currency. That's probably what's gonna happen, because we already know that central banks don't work. And I've really come to the conclusion, as an entrepreneurial American, that I don't even want to participate in this economy anymore if we're still going to have a central banking system. Because what that creates is it's a pyramid system to keep us in debt. And every time they want to control us, they'll just do a new tax law, new tax incentives. Well, why do we have to fucking pay so much goddamn tax in the first place? And the other thing I would want to say on my wish list for things to change is we need a flat sales tax. That's it. Boom. No more crazy ass taxes. 5% flat sales tax. That's it. No income tax, no property tax, no nothing. That's it. And whatever money is generated from the sales tax, that's what they have. That's what they get. That's what they have to use. That's it. And you're going to say, well, how are we going to pay for this? How are we going to pay for that? Well, we're going to have to get creative, folks. But I'm pretty sure that if you did that, it would probably be the most prosperous country in the world. And the reason I say that is because there's another country, like I think it's Monaco, Kingdom of Monaco or something like that, that they have the highest concentration of rich people. And why? Because they don't have tax. And if they do, it's like I don't know exactly. You gotta look into it, see how they do it over there. But it's completely like counterintuitive how they do it. And it's funny. It's like, oh, no tax, and then everybody wants to go there, and they have the most rich people in the world. I mean, that's amazing. So anyways, we need a flat sales tax. The other thing that I would like to see is definitely less government. I don't mind like some safety rules, health rules, like health standards for pharmaceuticals or whatever. I mean I guess you gotta have to do some type of laws for protection, but even though it's so corrupt as it is right now with the pharma companies, whatever, but we need less government. And I want to raise my kids literally not at school, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna go to school or not if I have kids, but I don't want them in a fucking school system where they're gonna be brainwashed for 12 years, and then after that they gotta go get more debt in college, and then after that they're not even gonna have a fucking job. I mean, why would I put my kids through that? You know, it's like I could just train them. It's like, all right, you want to earn some money? Learn a trade. Learn to be a carpenter or a plumber or electrician or something, or have an online business and make money yourself, and then learn as you go. And if you want to, and the other thing I was gonna say is, so my point is the education system. I think it's gonna be a lot more digital, like private tutors type stuff. So anybody in the world can be a private tutor online, and that would cut the education costs like to zero. Because imagine just like you just pay for what you want to learn, you know? If you want to get a math tutor, you get a math tutor. You want to get an English tutor, you get an English tutor. That's how they used to do it back in the old days for the rich people. But what do we have now? We have a system where like I don't know if it's true, but I heard that Kamala Harris, the VP running mate, was wanted to lock parents up if their kids didn't go to school. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the chile was. That's what the sauce was. So if they're trying to lock you up if your kids don't go to school, but then everything's so fucking expensive they need 2 jobs just to put food on the table. I mean, they really got us by the balls, don't they? The balls or the vagina or whatever you have or don't have. So that's my wish list. No more central banks, a flat sales tax, less government, and a digital education renaissance going forward. And honestly, man, I don't think it's gonna work any other way. I mean, how much more longer are people gonna spend $100,000+ for an education where you don't have a job at the end? There's no job guarantees, and you have to pay it back. You can't go bankrupt unless you pay it back in America. That's fucking nuts. I mean, why do we have to go to universities anymore in the first place? Those are ancient now. You could just Google anything you want. You don't have to go to libraries anymore. You could get digital books. You know, the technology has literally, let's go this way. The technology has created a lot more opportunities and a lot more efficiencies. You know, and then we should, I think if we do that, that's gonna kind of lower the cost of living, you know what I mean? Because we shouldn't have interest rates and stuff like that that's gonna just put people in debt for 30 fucking years. I mean, that doesn't work, man. I mean, that's just, it doesn't help anyone, you know? Houses should be, with the technology that we have these days, houses should be like no more than 10 grand to build, you know? I'm sure that if there wasn't so many fucking laws and stuff, like even in Santa Barbara, California, where I'm living right now, I mean, if you want to just like plant a tree, you probably need a permit for that. Or cut a tree, you need a permit for that shit. I mean, you may think I'm kidding, but I'm not. It's so many goddamn rules. So we'll see what happens after this election. If things don't get better, I'll try to save up as much money as I can and get the hell out of here and try to find a country where it's gonna be easier for me to live, you know what I mean? Because, you know, even in this, right now, Santa Barbara, I mean, I was looking on the real estate, and the cheapest house, like 2-bedroom house, is like $800,000+, and it's just a 2-bedroom or whatever, you know? It's like really that expensive, even with this crisis. And it's just like, man, like, just for a down payment, it's probably gonna be like, what, $100,000 or something like that? I mean, who has that? Who has liquid $100,000? That's like a normal person. And don't get me started with the, you know, the rich people. I don't hate rich people, but I do know that if you get a certain amount of money and you find a way to maneuver that money. It's like they say, the rich get richer. Well, yeah, obviously. And then, you know, they'll figure it out. They have more options. But if you're stuck in the grind, there's no way out. I mean, there's literally no way out. You know, they got you. They got you by the balls. So anyways, thanks for watching this video. I'm gonna wrap it up. And then we'll see how it goes going forward. All right.
Who